matter. If you're joining me for the first time, you're like, who are you? Why are you talking about this? I've been trying. Anyway, this is At the Table with Jessica. And we are making foods that are delicious and doable. So you can get in and out of your kitchen and enjoy your food and enjoy your time with your family around the dinner table. So I want you to go ahead and grab a chair, grab a cup of coffee. Go ahead, pull up your seat, okay? We're going to make Carne Asada Burrito Bowls. And yeah, so good. But don't let the name intimidate you, because this is going to be like pushing the easy button on your recipe. It's super easy because we are doing 3 different seasonings from Pampered Chef, packages, pantry items, whatever, to make this go really quick. So I'm usually a person who likes to avoid doing things that are mixes or whatever because it has a lot of extra added stuff. But I like these ones because they pack a punch. They are perfect for when you're like, I want to have flavor, but I really don't have time to do much, and I don't want to just eat the basic spaghetti, grilled cheese, whatever it is. Those are all good. They have their place. But sometimes you want something a little fancier. You just don't have the time. So that's where this comes in. Now I have this, and it's screaming hot here, so I got to get that going first. But I also see my rice is boiling. Well, the water for my rice. So here, this is boiling back here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add it's 2 cups of water. I added just a little oil and a little salt. The first thing we're going to use is this cilantro lime rice. It's going to add extra flavor. It'll be good. If you don't have this, I got to be stronger than this. If you don't have this, or if you are wanting to keep things a little cleaner, which this doesn't have much in here. I mean, oh, there are some sugars, there's some palm oil, but for the most part, it's rice. Anyway, just do regular rice. You could add whatever you want in there. So, but this is for like super easy time. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this in. You can see the little green bits in here. I'm gonna turn down my temp on here, and we're gonna let it simmer. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let it simmer for about 8 to 10 minutes, which will be perfect for what I'm making over here. Now this is steak. We aren't much for steak eating here. But this is a little bit, goes a long way. And this has been marinating for a few hours. You can do it overnight. It's something you're gonna think of the night before. And you're gonna use some Carne Asada meal mix. So the actual recipe calls for twice as much beef. We just aren't huge on eating giant slabs of meat. So I'm only doing 1 pound instead of 2. So I halved it, and I can do something else with that another night. So this was oil and the seasoning, and here we go. Getting that nice, beautiful sear on here. This will be 4-ish minutes, and then I'll go ahead and flip it over. So set my timer, and we're gonna get to work. All right. That seasoning is so flavorful. This is super easy because you don't have to get out a whole bunch of different seasonings. You don't have to do all that. You just, this and some oil. The end. Okay? You can do it. I'm just going to read a few of the ingredients to get an idea of what's in here. There's garlic, onion, salt, there's soy sauce, there's some other stuff. I mean, it has all the seasonings, lime juice, like all kinds of good stuff in here. A little bit of sugar, get you that browning on there. So this smell is fantastic. I cannot wait. Okay, so those 2 are going. When it's been about 4 minutes, we're going to go ahead and flip this over and go from there. But while we're waiting, I'm getting a few other things done. Before I started my live, just so I didn't have to walk away, I took some corn and I microwaved it and I drained it. If you have that steamable stuff, just do a steamable pack. And what we're going to do is we are going to do a street corn style corn here. I'm inhaling the flavors. This is great, but we're going to have to breathe a little gentler. Anyway, and what this is, we're going to use about 2 tablespoons of mayo. This is something where I am not going to measure. I'm just going to do about 2 tablespoons. If you're joining live, go ahead and say hi. Let me know where you're cooking in, where you're joining from, whatever you're doing. If you like to cook, and get a little report here. Okay. And this is the street corn seasoning. It has everything you need to get street corn flavor when you mix it with mayo and some corn. It has the dairy. It has all the stuff. So it tastes like cheese. It tastes like seasoning. It tastes like all the things. Super good. All right. And this is, I think it says 4 teaspoons. This is 1 heaping tablespoon. That's what we're doing. A little bit goes a long way with this. And I'll come over here and show you what this looks like. It's getting, ooh, it's getting a really good smell. All right. So I'm curious as you're cooking. I listed a couple of those back pocket meals, you know, the things that you need to have on hand when you're like, oh, what are we even going to eat? I have no idea. So spaghetti, frozen pizza. Do you have any things that you like to whip together, though? I think burrito bowls are a lot of fun. And sometimes we do things like this, where there's, you know, pre-made stuff. Sometimes I'm doing it all by myself with whatever I like to have on hand. So one of our favorites is the chicken Mediterranean. And I'll have some chicken that I shredded or cubed up and cooked ahead of time. And then I have Kalamata olives that are usually in the fridge. Chop up the cucumber, have a tomato, grab some hummus, make some rice. It's all pretty slick. It comes together in a hurry. And it's something where you could even have the parts made or assembled ahead of time. And when it's time to eat, just yank it out of the fridge, go from there. Super good. All right. I cannot wait. I'm going to peek at this. Oh, it looks so good. Oh, so while we're waiting for all of that, I'm going to put the lid back on this thing. I'm going to start working on some of the vegetables that I want to put on top. So in our house, we do have a picky eater. And I find that if I have things in pieces, where she can pick what she wants, it goes a lot better than if I put everything together and she's like, what's this, what's this, what's this? So what I have here is, I have this pepper, and I'm going to cut it up here as soon as I flip over this steak. So what kind of steak do we want? You can do a skirt steak, you can do a flank steak. In this case, I don't even remember what I grabbed because I had neither, and I had to Google what other things. I think it was New York strip. I'm not much of a beef person. Sorry. If you're a beef person, I apologize. Just for another 4 minutes. We are trying to get this so that it's going to be a nice medium done, and we'll let it rest before we carve it up. So that'll be really good too. Okay. This is my secret hack for peppers. I don't know if you can see. I think you can see. If you cannot see, holler at me. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to just cut down all the sides of the pepper. I think the most annoying thing cutting a pepper is you get all the seeds and they go everywhere. And so this is how I do it without getting things everywhere. I just cut all 4 sides like that. I'm left with this. I'm going to cut the bottom. This is going to get discarded. Actually, what I'm going to do after, I'm going to cut little pieces off for my chickens. They love peppers. So I'll set it aside. But that's how I keep the seeds from getting in my stuff. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut this in strips. And I want all of mine to be about this size. You could do dicing. You get a cool tool that does all those things for you, which Pampered Chef has plenty, but in this case, with 1 pepper, I'm just going to do it with my own hands. So, are you a person who appreciates doing things with a knife yourself, or do you like to have tools to cut stuff? I know sometimes that uniformity, right? You want things to be the same. It can be a challenge. You know, my daughter kind of feels like that too sometimes. But it takes practice. It takes practice to do things like that. And I don't think it's bad while you're learning to have things that maybe aren't 100% uniform. I do like the measure markings though on these cutting mats, because if you really want to be particular, you can measure what you go. I don't know if you've seen the flexible cutting mats. I can send you a link if you need it. So on if you go to my link in the bio, you can find my Pampered Chef store, and you'll find that on there. Just search flexible cutting nets. They're pretty slick. And they're color coded, so if you want to have like a chicken one and a beef one and a veggie one, you can do that. Anyway, you're almost there, and this is smelling fantastic. Alright, you can see all my peppers are chopped up. I'm going to start working on some guacamole. This is one of those things where you might opt and say, you know, stores do a really good job of making it. And that's totally cool. I'm actually going to make my own guac here. This doesn't take me very long. You got it? I'm going to just slice it a bit. Scoop it into here. My favorite part. Stab it and turn. Pretty slick. Anyway, cut through here. And I'm going to do this. I usually do 3 big or 4 small to 1 line. So I have 4 small and 1 line. And I was hoping, I actually went to the store today. Sometimes things aren't quite ready when I'm wanting to use them. So I tried to find the 4 ripest. So we'll see how they actually cut, because I don't know if they're perfect ripeness, but go from there. This is almost ready to beep at me. I'm super excited about this steak now because it smells really good. I just told you, I'm not the hugest steak eater, but I think this is going to be worth it. All right. If you're not a guac fan, what could you put on this to bring the cream? Well, sour cream. You could do queso fresco. You could do all kinds of good things. Or you could just load up on that street corn, because that's really good too. Alright. Turn off my burner. I have another mat here. And I'm tired of inhaling this. Holy cow. Excuse my cough. Alright. We're going to let that rest. I'm going to check that rice in about 2 or 3 minutes here. It should give me just enough time to finish up this guac. We'll see how quickly I can cut. So while I'm seeing here, I would love to know if all of these things going, like, are you a person who has to do 1 pot or pan at a time, and to have 2 things going, it kind of is overwhelming? If that's how you are, that's totally cool. And if you guys are commenting and I can't see it, I apologize, because sometimes technology is kind of strange. So, just keep on cutting here and making my guac. Oh, this one's a lot softer. All right, you love to multitask. There is somebody out there. Hey, thanks for joining. I like to as well, but there is a point, like when it's a busy week or I've been really multitasking a lot, sometimes I can get overwhelmed and I do lose track of things. So I don't know if it's just getting a little older, I can't manage the things I used to be able to manage. Maybe it's just the kid factor, because I think kids suck your brains a little bit. But it is, I like to have multiple things going, or at least have a plan of how they come together. So in this case, if you're new to multitasking, oh, it's Deanna, hello! Somebody I know, woohoo! Maybe, or maybe that's just your first name. I'll figure it out later, maybe. Anyway, I totally forget where I was going with this. Oh, if you're new to multitasking, so like with this recipe, I started one thing, and then I started another thing, and I started another thing. So what I do is I look at my recipe and I go, what's going to take the most time? And then I'm going to start with the thing that takes the most time first, usually, unless it's something like this has to rest. One of the things I like about the recipes on my website is most of them are very straightforward, and they tell you in which order to do things. Sometimes you'll find recipes that omit things, or they're like, oh, I did this, but then I actually did this instead. I try to tell you when I deviate. It's one of those skills where as you cook, you unlock the skill. So some people it comes a little more natural, others maybe not so much. But I'm gonna grab my little gripper to take the lid off of my rice. It's just been simmering here. Oh, it looks really light, nice and lovely and light. So let me grab a fork. I didn't grab that yet. I'm gonna fluff it up and I'm gonna do it gently so I don't scrape the bottom of it. You can kind of see. Oh yeah, this is nicely done. And I like, you can actually see how green this is. The little cilantro pieces. I am a person who not always a big fan of cilantro. Kind of tastes like soap to me. But a little bit is necessary to me in these kinds of things like a burrito bowl. So I'm not going to add fresh stuff because, oh, that's a little too much for me. But if you love cilantro, this is the perfect place to have it, okay? I'm going to turn off that fan because it's super loud. All right, grab my knife. That steak is almost done resting here. And we're about done. So, I have a juicer. Sometimes you just need a little soap. That's right. I'm glad you could join in for that. It's an inside joke for anybody who's watching, but it's true. I actually, here, I'll show you. So you don't have pictures falling everywhere. So I said that one time, and like sometimes you just need soap in your salsa because it tastes like soap to me. Deanna made me nugget. Sometimes you just need a little soap. It's the best. I love it. Anyway, if you didn't know, my fridge is right behind here. All right, so we got a little lime here. All right. And now comes the fun time. We're gonna mash it. This is actually the potato masher. It's called a mix and masher. I think it works really well for this. So I'm going to mash a little bit, and then I'm going to add in our seasonings. So I'm going to usually do salt, a little pepper, some garlic powder, and onion powder. Now you could do fresh stuff. I find it gets a little too potent, and I don't always want to cut or even do my garlic press. So I think this is a lot easier. And if I were to measure stuff, I would say it's maybe half a teaspoon, up to a half a teaspoon, quarter to a half of the garlic. I do a little less of the onion, and then about a half a teaspoon of salt, quarter teaspoon of pepper, if you're doing about this much. So I'll just kind of shake a little bit. I don't use this shaker stuff. Potato masher. I do love potatoes. Anyway, all right, we have all these pieces ready now. Where's that fluffing fork? I won't use it again, and I'm just gonna nibble and see where my flavor's at. That was Sean. Hi, Sean. All right, steak. I'm gonna grab another fork. All right. Pull down my steak while I cut. Oh, those juices are right on top. I'll bring some over as soon as I get a few cut here. This is looking nice. Or at least to me. So you can see we have the char on the outside. It's just a little pink on the inside. It gets a little pinker the more we get in there. If my husband were here, he'd be like, ah! I'll give him the pieces that are a little more done. For serving, it is really pretty if you have a nice strip. For practicality purposes, my kids are not going to eat a strip of meat. So I'm going to cut my beautiful strips into pieces that are a little more manageable. But you don't need to watch me do the entire thing. You want to see what this bowl looks like. So let me grab a bowl. We're going to do it. All All right. Comes a bowl. I have some rice. Cilantro lime rice. All right. I have a few peppers. I have a little bit of meat. I have a little guac. Oh, that's a lot of guac. I'm okay with that. I need my street corn stuff. And, ooh, it's done. Look at all these colors. It looks super yummy. I can't wait to eat it. I will spare you watching me eat it on camera, but suffice to say that the smells coming from this area right here in my kitchen is going to be really darn good. So, what I want to say is thank you for joining me. Just so you know, that mix that I have, it's actually part of our meal mix launch kit. We can get you started on Pampered Chef, and you can get all that stuff for like a really great discount. It's like $20-25, so check it out on my website. There's a link so you can find it. Okay, if you have questions, feel free to ask me. I've had a lot of people on my team, and we just have a lot of fun, so feel free to ask. This is bold. This is flavorful. This is really good food, and it was all done super fast. We are at like 21 minutes live right now, and it's done from start to finish. I don't think you can beat that, okay? So if you need something that's going to get you through this crazy time of year where you're like, we're running and running and running, I think this is the meal for you. Get all those things. Carne asada, cilantro lime, the street corn seasoning mix, and you are set. If you enjoy this recipe, if you try it out, be sure to comment and let me know if you are ready to try it, and if you would like me to build a cart for you so you can just click and shop. Be sure to holler. You can message me on social media too. If you're not here, I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook. You can find all the links, so just go find me. And if you like meals like this, be sure to subscribe because we're going to make more of them. I'm usually live every Tuesday night, so I hope to catch you next time at the table with me. Have a good night.